Today is February 28th, and you're listening to episode 183 of the Daily Devotion Podcast from Devotable. Today's devotion is titled The Spiritual Gift of Ministry and was contributed by Eric Souza. Having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. If prophecy, in proportion to our faith. If service, in our serving. The one who teaches in his teaching, the one who exhorts in his exhortation, the one who contributes in generosity, the one who leads with zeal, the one who does acts of mercy with cheerfulness. Romans chapter 12, verses 6 through 8. The spiritual gift of ministry is a gift people want around, but they themselves don't want to have. They want to see it in action, but don't want to be the person taking that action. The gift of ministry is a highly prided spiritual gift very few actually want. Why is that? The baby of the family. Some gifts, especially when they are strong or desirable, can cause others to look with envy at the possessor of that gift. While this isn't ideal, unfortunately, it is true. Thankfully, not all of the gifts are like that. Take, for instance, the gift of ministry. This particular gift is the baby of the family that everyone loves to have around. You will seldom meet anyone who covets it. No one ever accuses someone of striving for position while operating in this gift. In fact, everyone wants this gift in their lives. What is so special about the gift of ministry or service? When someone is administering in the gift of service, they are putting other people's needs above their own, as this is the beautiful point of this self-effacing gift. An honest observation I've seen is that everyone wants the gift of service in their vicinity, but no one seems to actually want the gift of service bestowed upon them. It flies in the face of our cultural standards. We are all about protecting our rights. However, the gift of service isn't interested in that. While we are told on the daily to do what's best for ourselves, the gift of service wants to do what's best for others. Culturally, it makes sense why no one would strive to serve. But spiritually, it is to our shame that we don't long for this gift more. Jesus' display of the gift of ministry. In John 13, we read of the most incredible display of the gift of service. Jesus, who was the possessor of all the spiritual gifts, tied on an apron and unabashedly washed his disciples' feet. I know you've heard the story, but let the realities of this narrative sink in. Jesus, the mighty creator of the universe, took on the role of the servant of the house and washed the dirt, which he created, off of his disciples' feet, which he also created. He had every right to insist they wash his feet, but he didn't demand that. He could have, quite correctly, pointed out that it was a great injustice that no one had washed their own feet, but he didn't. He simply saw a need and met that need without a single word of complaint. That is exactly what the gift of service is. May we all not only long for this gift to be around, but may we all long to possess this gift as well. This is the second part of the series that Eric has done in the Spiritual Gift series. And I like how he breaks this down into each spiritual gift and the different aspects that go along with them. If you haven't read the first part of this series on the spiritual gifts of prophecy, I would encourage you guys to click on the link at the bottom of today's devotion and go back and read that one. But on the spiritual gift of ministry, I think he's spot on here, because I see this a lot of times in our church as well. It's very difficult to get people to sacrifice their time, their effort, to serve in some sort of a ministry capacity. And while I do appreciate and certainly understand the need to cut back and to have more family time and less busy time, we're also called to serve. And I think one of the aspects that we need to evaluate when we do evaluate how we're spending our time is in what areas should we be serving? What areas has He maybe gifted us with the spiritual gift of ministry? In what areas are we trying to serve in our own capacity? Because I can assure you, if you are trying to serve in an area in your own capacity without God's gift, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be difficult for you, and you will burn out in that area. So not everybody has the spiritual gift of ministry. We're all called to serve in some way, shape, or form, but some areas of ministry within the church require a lot more effort and a lot more commitment, a lot more time than others. And in those areas, specifically the office of a pastor, the office of an elder or a deacon, perhaps the ministry area of the children, the youth or the college, the ministry area of a song director, those particular areas require so much time and so much effort that you cannot do those in your own capacity. And I think this is where people get into problems, is they want to serve, which is great, but they don't actually consider the positions that they're serving in and how difficult those might be, what commitment that may be. And if, like I said, we're trying to serve in those positions in our own capacity, we're going to burn out. We're going to fail time and time again. So it's important that we evaluate whether or not we have the spiritual gift of ministry. Whether we're trying to serve because of our own pride, whether we're trying to serve in a position because we want the attention, or whether God has actually called us to serve in those positions. And I think Eric is really spot on here when he says that it's the gift, it's the baby of the family of spiritual gifts. Everybody loves to have on their quote-unquote resume of service that they have a position within the church to serve. But seldom do people actually want to make the commitment to do that. Having this spiritual gift is a big responsibility. He's right, it flies in the face of our cultural standards. We want to protect our rights. We want to protect the time that we have. We want to protect how we spend that time and how we serve other people. But the gift of service isn't interested in that. The gift of service is just that. It's the gift of constantly serving other people. It's constantly giving of your time and your effort. It's burning that midnight oil when you're up trying to plan the next service, or you're up trying to figure out what the next children's or youth activity is, or you're counseling someone at 2 o'clock in the morning because they need you. I don't envy the position of a pastor or a deacon or an elder. And I personally have not been called to those either, because I understand what the commitment of that looks like. So do you have the spiritual gift of ministry? Are you using the call that God has placed on your life? Have you evaluated the position that you're serving in and really, really dug into it to see if God is blessing you with the gift of ministry, or are you trying to serve in that position in your own capacity? Eric, I appreciate this series. I appreciate you breaking these spiritual gifts down for us and really helping us evaluate what these gifts mean from a biblical perspective and analyze if we have these gifts. It's important for us to know which spiritual gifts God has blessed us with, because getting it wrong could hurt us. It could hurt other people. It could burn us out, just like this example can. So thank you for your contribution. Thank you for constantly writing devotions for us, man. I really, really appreciate it. And I would love for you guys to go check out Eric. He's a pastor in Jacksonville, Florida. He pastors a church called Reach Jacks, and you can find out more about that at www.reachjax.com. You can find out more about him by clicking on his profile at the bottom of today's devotion, clicking on his profile in the app, or going to the devotableapp.com website in the About and Contributors link in the menu bar and searching for Eric Souza. Thank you all so much for joining me today as I read today's daily devotion. My name is Landon, and I'm the creator of Devotable. I know there are a lot of great podcasts out there that bring you closer to God each day, but I am truly honored that you chose to spend the last 15 or so minutes listening to me and one of our amazing authors. It really does mean the world to me. If this is your first time listening, maybe you're interested in learning more about Devotable and what we do. Well, we're a collection of writers, bloggers, and authors who team up and create daily devotional content that does three things. First, we try to encourage believers daily. Second, we try to reach the lost with God's powerful message. And third, we try to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ around the world on as many platforms as we can. If you're interested in helping us or contributing to Devotable in any way, you can visit our website at devotableapp.com/contribute. There, you'll learn about the opportunity to write for us or to partner with us via our Patreon page and much more. Speaking of Patreon, now is a great time to partner with us. As a partner, you get special access to perks and discounts online, a special look into what we're doing before the public does, and exclusive access to our books and devotions that we publish. Also, as of February 1st, we've opened pre-orders for our second book titled Prayer, Approaching the Throne of Grace, which is a 26-week devotional and journal on prayer. If you're a Patreon partner, you'll get a copy or two of this book sent to you when we launch it. So now is a perfect time to sign up and become a partner with us. Head on over to devotableapp.com/contribute to learn more. And if you're not interested in partnering with us on Patreon, I certainly understand that. But you can still pre-order the book on our website at devotableapp.com/prayer journal. There you can find out information about the book's contents, the price, the official launch date, and all the rest of the details. I am so excited about this book and how it's going to help people in their prayer life. Prayer is the lifeblood that connects us with God, and without it, we can't possibly have the full relationship with our Savior that He desires. My heart is that this devotional helps people learn how to pray better, that it assists them in seeing the power of prayer in their everyday lives. So I am so excited to finally get this project launched and out to the public. So again, if you want to learn more, head on over to our website at devotableapp.com/prayer journal. If this daily devotion has blessed you in any way, would you please consider sharing it with a friend? From clicking that share button to forwarding on an email or just mentioning us to someone over coffee. That's how we grow. When people like you are blessed and pass that blessing along to others, more people learn about Devotable. So I would encourage you guys to click that like button or share button, comment on one of our posts, or even leave us some feedback on our podcast or one of our books. We love to hear feedback and encouraging words from our audience. Lastly, I would love to know how I can pray for you. This ministry, to me, is all about connecting with people. And I'd love to be able to connect with you and pray for you. If you have a prayer request, you can let me know anytime via our social media channels. You can send me a message on Facebook or send me a message in Instagram DM, or you can go to our website, click on the Connect page, and send me an email from there. I would love to pray for you guys in whatever you're going through in your life today. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. to today's daily devotion podcast. And until the next time, have a great day.